And so, my dear friends, we reconvene for a very important announcement. The council, I can't get anything out of them. They know they're guilty. The former licensing officer actually left a voicemail on my friend with the Burger Vans phone, and he said, "We don't have it. I can't give you what you want. We don't have it." Unfortunately, of course, he never referred to anything specific in terms of what we were looking for, which was the proof that they could charge for a license, which they've been doing since 1984. Although he was close to tears, because I did actually hear the voicemail myself. So of course there's nothing we could have done with that. If it had come out as evidence in court, he could have been referring to anything, really. So, you know, he could have probably claimed insanity, which I think a lot of these people should do. No response to my letters saying that they're not entitled to charge and blah blah blah. Of course, the legal department have found well they're breaking the law, and as with the police, which is what I'll get onto in a second, they're not interested. Of course they're not. There's 30 years of missing money to be accounted for there, and they can't account for it. So that's probably not going to look too good on the CVs, is it, when I go for the next job, you know. So, the Police Crime Commissioner's Office, who, funnily enough, most of whom seem to have very similar names to the people who used to work for the police authority. I'm sure they're not the same people. I'm sure they haven't just changed jobs at all from one agency to the others. Must just be me. They are now attempting to shut down this whole thing, of course. They've got no answer. They've still given me no answer. I've had no details as to any investigation that's been carried out to the Chief Constable, despite asking. I've had no answer as to where my statement has gone, which was the criminal statement against the council. Obviously no answer as to where the money's gone, or as to why the police aren't interested in investigating what is potentially, well, at this point we could be talking millions, but certainly for this one trading licence over 30 years we're probably looking at $1 million anyway, which has obviously completely vanished. So do bear in mind, mentioning the police authority, that at one point the Chief Constable told them that he'd never heard of me. This was despite, of course, I had actually received a letter from him, but, well, there you go. Secretary must have written that. So what we have here is the clearance of the Chief Constable by the Police Crime Commissioner. It says A, that it's 3 pages long. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it says A, there is no evidence that the Chief Constable had any personal or direct involvement in the alleged matters. Well, given he wouldn't answer any of my emails, well, you know, I guess that does strike out the direct involvement. Personal, of course, well, I've never met him, so how can I have personal involvement? That is what that means, you know. This is how these people, like the EU with the driver's certificate of professional competence, this is how these people use words, they twist them round. Of course he's had no personal involvement. Never met the guy. How can he? You know. And as I say, he blatantly refused to answer any of my communications. So, be it letter, email, nice, nasty, whatever. You know, never a response there came. So, moving on. B. That the Chief Constable acted appropriately in bringing allegations to the attention of those individuals that could investigate them further. I don't know how he'd done that if he'd never heard of me. I mean, for the 100 or so emails I sent him, did he not just once notice that maybe 2 of them came in with the same name on the bottom? You know. I'll leave that to you. C. These matters have been fully addressed through your earlier complaints and appeals to the IPCC. Well, no, they haven't. Because, as I pointed out in my previous videos about this, the IPCC are allowed to close a complaint after 52 weeks, 1 year. And they take 26 weeks to answer one email, and they take 26 weeks to answer 2. So, after that they go, oh look, it's out of time. But as I say, obviously the money's never been found. No, I've asked several times for an explanation on one sheet of paper, because nothing was ever written down for me in the meetings I had with the police, which numbered at least 3. As to why my statement wasn't investigated, that's never been forthcoming. The proof of the council can charge for licences has never been forthcoming. And of course the money's never been found. You know. So, all that, you know, I mean, this goes on and on and on. It's what they do suggest very helpfully towards the end is that, well, apart from the fact that quite a number of emails that could be considered to be persistent and harassing, this is from me, including inappropriate language. I think I may have called them thieving bastards at one point. And as well as inflammatory and threatening comments. Well, I don't know about you guys, but yes, okay, I lost my temper. Fair enough. You know, I mean, what can you do? The money's missing, statement never been investigated. District Auditor said that police permission was not required to charge for a trading licence for the council. Well, it is. But then they don't talk to you anymore. You know, they just lie. What was it? Lies, damn lies, and more lies or something. I don't know. However, getting back to my point. My concerns should be more appropriately directed to Huntingdonshire District Council itself. Or you are advised to seek appropriate legal advice on any other avenues open to you. See, if only I thought to complain to the council that money had gone missing. These people should be stand-up, you know, they should be on stage. It's quite incredible. And as for, yes, other legal avenues, well, they love that, don't they? You know, because then you have to spend your money and your time taking people to court, when, let's face it, the judges are probably bought and paid for anyway, so you're not going to win, you know. Right, do you know what? Let's just maybe even pretend that none of this has happened. Let's pretend that none of this is going on. Let's pretend all that money hasn't gone missing. Let's pretend the police aren't the slightest bit concerned about £1 million of taxpayers' money, which may or may not have gone straight into Tory funds. You know, I'm going to ask you all one question now. You guys out there watching, I don't know who you are. You might be a lawyer, you might be a doctor, you might be a truck driver, you might be a policeman. I'm sure a lot of my views have probably come from the authorities, well, despite them saying that they couldn't watch my videos because they didn't have the equipment to do so when I emailed them in a link. Whoever you are, right? Okay, you know. in one sense, let's take a look at all the videos I've done. But just ask yourself a question. In your experience in life, what are the police actually for anymore? You know? They don't do parking tickets like they used to. They don't do a lot of the traffic duty, funnily enough, like they used to, because now, of course, we have VOSA and the Dedicated Highways Agency and all this sort of thing. Everything these days seems to be a civil offence. So, do you know what? I'm going to shut up there, actually. Right. Just ask yourself one question. Your experiences in life, you know, whatever you've had, what are the police for anymore?